Hello, everyone. Welcome to Vortex Cast. Uh, I have my co-hosts Tim and Kevin tonight. We don't have Justin, despite him wanting us to move to Wednesdays specifically, so he'd be available. But that's okay.
Yeah, we at least we knew about this one. When we decided on Wednesdays, we knew it would be, but not this Wednesday.
Yes,
Hopefully, it'll be many more Wednesdays.
yes. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood. I think this is real wood at my desk.
Oh.
Um, but recently we had an early ban list. I guess to mostly just get people in the correct mindset and testing mode for Chicago, which is about a week and a half from now.
Yep.
The two things that were hit were Mark Tyner got errata to being a once per turn on his check hacking, and then City Rampage got errata to use a momentum as a cost. So how do we feel about that? What do we think it'll do to the meta?
Man, I feel bad because it's just like this just felt the things I mean I guess maybe the most precise thing to say is that the things I was worried about in the metagame were not these things, and this feels gratuitous and inaccurate. I kind of mourn a little bit for the good decks of old getting whacked and like not being legal anymore. That's kind of whack. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like what fraction of world champion decks have like can you even play even if you like time warp back when they were like the format unrotated the format to them, like how many of them just randomly have had cards power level routed for flimsy reasons?
Right.
Sad.
Yeah, no surprises for me. Not really independent of like what I would have done or whatever, because I didn't think too hard about that. But when people ask me what do you think's going to happen, I kind of said there's probably like a 2 in 3 chance that Tyner gets hit, and probably like a 2 in 3 chance that Rampage gets hit. Just if you've been around long enough, both of these kind of make sense to you, right? Like they don't particularly like it when prison style decks have the level of success that Tyner had at Worlds, and independent of people sort of falling off of it afterwards, they're just like, no, we just don't want this to be that much of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rampage, has always been enabling turn 2 kills, and they hit Titan Cliff, and they've sort of let it be and just sort of let it be a good positive variance for new players picking up the Godzilla decks. But especially with this new set, with a lot of these 5 difficulty attacks that are closer to 4 difficulty or even less if it's queen, sort of, it's the drawback of playing all 5 diffs when your 5 diffs are Smashing Stomp, Queen of the Monsters, Hunter's Ally, Canister Creation Strike, whatever, is just not that tangible right now. So City Rampage was kind of doing a lot more than it originally bargained for.
Yeah,
thank you for the subscription, Lenoko.
Oh, hi, Al.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Yeah, so do we think that these were good erratas? Like, I know Kevin hates talking about this hypothetical stuff, but
no, I mean, well, not now we can.
That's fair.
It's no longer hypothetical.
We're judging in
That's fair.
retrospect. Yeah.
Do we think this is good? Do you think that matters? Like,
I mean, I think it's been fun, like seeing the debates of like Tyner didn't need the nerf to like he wasn't even good, like he didn't even have that much power level or whatever, and then also like was Rampage even the Rampage is Rampage good in Titan of Terror debates?
Right.
Also,
yeah,
fun to be around.
Yeah, the posthumous arguing about Rampage Titan of Terror was really funny. Like now that it's behind us, let's fight over it.
Right.
But, I guess since it's a podcast, it kind of fine to talk about that a little bit, because people were surprisingly very passionate about their 4x City Rampage Titan of Terror takes, and I was kind of surprised by how angry they were. I was like, nah, I don't want to run it.
Right.
I feel like my sense of it was just, if you're gonna build a deck to sell out to trying to rampage people to death onto, I feel like King of the Monsters still just did it better overall.
Yeah.
When you put everything together.
And honestly, I think he still kind of does. Like, you have to change your deck up a little bit. You might have to play more strategy meetings and stuff like that. But I don't think this hurts him that bad in that regard. I think he can still get away with a 4x Rampage deck. He may not have to, may not want to, but I think he still could.
Yeah, I think he's.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Good.
I was gonna say my sense of Godzilla in general is that the deck is less like uh, like completely face rolly, less uh just brain dead like hurt or I'm gonna aggro you, and more sort of like zone checking and Yomi and all that kind of stuff, and like winning games off of like landing pokes and then resetting and then having an advantage and leveraging that advantage over a
Right.
few turns. Much more so than the stereotypes of it.
Mhm.
And we can get into I can get into the shuffle rant if we want to do that. But um, I think that all that gameplay didn't rely on Rampage, and it couldn't rely on Rampage because Rampage isn't a reliable card. And
Right.
it's like if you're playing for turn 5, where I'm gonna like somehow sculpt this, or like I had a pet deck for a little while that was playing Cerritos in King of the Monsters, because if you get that card in play, it is better than most 6-disc. It is a very very good
Mhm.
card. Um, that also helps you assemble the hands of like 4-hit City Rampage. Those kind of more intentional, longer game ideas are still absolutely on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Fair.
one of the interesting parts of this is that the decks that people associate with Rampage are not necessarily the ones that get hurt the most by this,
Right.
because when you think about Rampage as a like they're gonna put one down on 2 and then they're gonna play a bunch of 5 diffs at net -1 difficulty, like what the big lizards were doing. Those decks can still just like have one more difficulty, maybe alter their attack lineup a little bit, and maybe like sneak in an extra check passing type foundation that readies itself or whatever, and still like kind of do most of the same things.
Right.
The decks that are really hurt, I assume, I guess, because I don't have a ton of familiarity with these, are like the Bridgets of the world, where
Sure.
they were trying to take the
Yeah.
Rampage out of their card pool. The
Mhm.
Rampage ponies that we used to see, the Rampage Jester that we saw in the UK, that was trying to take
I,
Rampage out of progressive, that really,
right.
really linchpinned their strategy on Rampage because they were going to get it out of the pool.
That's fair. I mean, I kind of still think that Jester deck is viable in the same way it was. It's just
Yeah, it might be.
it has to like survive an attack turn or have a poke turn first. Um, but I think it's still probably worth doing. Who knows?
Wait,
Got to play test to make it work.
what was the Jester deck?
It was literally just like Jester City Rampage. It was all 5 diffs except for I think it was playing 4 Gunflame Feint.
Okay.
And it was playing that and 4 Stroke the Big Tree because you can tension and just play every single copy from your discard
Yeah.
pile. Um, it was a cool deck. It had some things here and there that Tim and I both agreed that it was weird that it wasn't running. Like it wasn't running like Trickster's Blessing and some other things. But like the deck list was overall just cool.
Yeah. Yeah, now, you know, I guess like upside, the other thing, I guess we're talking about like stuff that maybe not exactly King of the Monsters, but other decks that were slamming for Rampage. They can also just like not run mono 5 diffs now, right? They're allowed to
Right.
run some 4 difficulty attacks
Right.
in some of these
Absolutely.
lists, and that'll help them pass their strings too.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think actually, honestly, the very big picture of my reaction to City Rampage is like this was a it's still like an iconic spicy card, and now it's dying for the sins of our LC promos that are now at the very least on on Cloud9, because they're LC promos. It'd be weird to ban them right now, but
Sure.
they're an awful lot better than a card ever should be, honestly.
Sure. How do we feel about Tyner? Do we think that was the correct choice?
I think I hate saying correct choice. Like, and actually, I kind of even made this point in one of these threads, was that I wouldn't want to live in a world where UVS games only makes decisions when they're completely like their arm is wrenched behind their back and they are forced to act on it. Right.
Sure.
I'd rather live in a world where they have some liberty to adjust the metagame in ways that they think is favorable and that they think is, supporting secondary goals, and they have a choice if they can do it or not, and they get that freedom to decide. I think that the edge cases of Tyner are pretty awful, right? And pretty
Sure.
like simultaneously non-competitive and like profoundly uninteresting.
Like Justin's
And
list, or
like if I think of a if I think of a locals where the strongest player is playing Tyner and is just bullying people's stages,
sure.
like I just don't see a lot of merit to that game being
That's fair.
illegal.
Right.
And like I'm kind of imagining that as an edge case, and like, oh, we need to do some paternalism and protect these people from the bullies that are like or they could just learn to just play more foundations and to play more strategically in that way. But like, what's really the merit of this, right? Like, Tyner players can still play Tyner with a straight face. I think he's weaker than he was, but he
Yeah,
was
you still
quite
get the
good.
double uniques. You just don't. It's a little harder to proceed with this. Like, my deck is going to have this plan A, and it's plan A, and it can still do this part. It can still seek out a way to -3 you on foundations every turn, plus however
Yeah.
many imprisoned it gets, right? So,
Right.
I guess for those unfamiliar, what these decks were by and large doing was they were trying to get 2 to 3 copies combined of Warped Pleasure and King of Illyria, and so the broad idea was that between Warp Pleasure just activating every turn and Illyria being able to go back to your hand and be replayed every turn, they would just -2, -3, -4 you on foundations every round of turns. And so, like, yeah, you can sit there and say, I'm just going to keep building foundations over and over. But if you're building 3 a turn and they're getting rid of 3 a turn, you're getting nowhere. If you build 4 sometimes, like, you'll slowly edge up.
Right.
But that gives them, ample time to do whatever they need to do to actually finish the game, hopefully. Right. So some Tyner decks were not that good at finishing the game.
Right. And then even like the games where you don't draw like the turns where you don't draw those 4 foundations, now you're behind again. So it's kind of
you could just
abysmal.
like get a bad attack full turn. And so the idea is that if the hack is only, once per turn, then it's a little bit easier to like not feel forced to have to play foundations every turn when you can like try to threaten some kind of an attack string on, the 3 foundations you have left or whatever, a little more capably than you could before.
Right.
And thank you. We have 2 more resubscriptions, right? At the time I'm reading these.
Yeah.
But yeah, Paul and Jose, thank you for coming back in.
Yeah.
And
Thank you guys.
I need to check out the Suda 51 game. 100%.
Nice. But yeah, I do remember too, J Ray being in main court talking about how they were kind of testing with Tyner and how to mess with him, and they said that they tested with him at not failing the check instead.
It doesn't end
or not ending the turn. Sorry. And according to him, it felt just as abysmal because, like, in reality, that just says your opponent discards 2 cards a turn sometimes, and it still hurts them pretty bad because if you do it offensively to keep them from blocking, that's 2 failed blocks. It wasn't as bad as the previous version, but was still like not fun to play against.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
they went against that.
Yeah,
decision.
it was like equally as toxic against 80% of decks, and then the decks that just had a lot of card draw, got really helped by that. Because like, okay, I'll throw away 2 cards, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not generally promoting healthy play environments or play patterns.
Correct.
And I mean, I think that failing the check doesn't end the turn. I feel like in my book is one of the most overrated phrases in the game.
Yes.
Right. Sure. Like if you have an important card and you fail the like you can either get Sun 2'd or fail the check. Mana Leak is a good card, right? Counterspell is more powerful than Sun 2 in general.
Right.
There's edge cases where you prefer getting Counterspell to getting Sun 2'd, but usually you're constrained on having your most important card resolved.
Right. And like it was said, like if you have card draw and you have like a full attack turn that you think you're gonna kill them anyway, who cares if you fail that one, right? Like, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna keep going. But yeah, that's fair. I think both of these are pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I think
erratas.
in particular, there were one of the community discords. There were a couple people that were really upset about the Tyner hit, and it signaled to me that there was a subgroup of people that had some kind. At least 1 or 2 people had a Tyner deck that they really liked for Chicago, and they thought they had broken the format or something. And so, maybe that validates. If you believe in those players and you believe in their ability to read formats, and the people in question have a pretty good track record of reading formats and breaking events like that. So
right. All right. Seems pretty reasonable. How do we think this affects the meta as a whole? Do we think it really changes anything? Like, do we still think the meta for Chicago is going to be largely the same.
I mean, I think the narrative going like prior to this very much was like Titan of Terror is tier 0, right?
Right.
Everyone who's not playing Titan of Terror is throwing.
Mhm.
And at least Titan of Terror, there's a lot of choices in the deck build. I don't think the City Rampage ban changes that very much. I mean,
Okay.
we've not everyone is on the same page of how important or valuable or useful City Rampage was to the deck,
Mhm.
but clearly, we have people winning big LCs without it in the deck in the first place,
Right.
so they're not going to be impacted very much.
Mhm.
I don't think it like super changes the calculus in terms of like metagame predators for either for Titan of Terror or really anything else going on. Right,
Mhm.
like King of the Monsters was just like competitive-ish against Titan of Terror and is cleanly worse. Any of the other kind of off meta City Rampage decks, were off meta in the first place.
Right.
Yeah, I think I think there was some line of thinking where the best way to fight Titan of Terror was to just kill him faster, and there were some of these like City Rampage decks were trying to use City Rampage to do that.
Mhm.
So there'll be a little bit less of that. Titan of Terror doesn't have to worry quite as much about having his face torn in by exactly City Rampage decks, but there are other ways, right? Maybe people will like pick up Nagoriyuki.
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of excitement about that character, but he has taken down an LC. He can theoretically, right? You punch a Titan of Terror very hard, very quickly.
He can absolutely race, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Ghidorah seems to be like
Yep.
a good match into Titan of Terror. Just basically have an answer for Chinatown, or just hope they don't have it. And then most of the time you're pretty good against them.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that guy can be sneaky fast.
Yeah.
yeah, it feels like the shape of it very much is like there's a lot of characters from the new set. Hedora is in this conversation. Gigan, um, kind of this like Mikasa adjacent idea with some bad checks, sniping spy type
Yeah,
stuff.
that deck is so fun.
Yeah, it just throws hands relentlessly, and then maybe it has some scaling. It gets some cards in its stage that help it out.
Hmm.
But yeah, at any given point, you can get blown out by that. And yeah, like Titan of Terror is kind of just a six-hander who isn't necessarily defending himself with his face very much, and so it's just up to what you draw and what you can build in your stage, and that isn't necessarily yeah, the relative weakness of that kind of deck is just punching him in the face.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of ways to just punch someone in the face really hard these days. Um,
Yeah,
and go ahead, Jim.
yeah, and I think it certainly doesn't change a whole lot for like the people that are trying to play defensive skew decks,
Hmm.
because sure they were going to lose some games to getting rampaged out, but like by and large, the constraint on them is still turn 4 Titan of Terror, right? Like the fact that when that character gets to turn 4, you have this 3-pronged monster of they can stun me out with Hashigeki if that leads them to a win. If I'm ever dead to 11 speed for 20, they're just going to drop that on me.
Yep.
And if neither of those things happen, they're just going to like become Dimitri and flip my best card every turn until they can kill me.
Right.
And that's a lot to overcome for a deck that's just trying to like sit there and try to do whatever to live, for an extremely long series of turns. So it's still, very important for some of these defensive decks to make sure they have a real offense that they can get going and slam into somebody that's, especially if they're doing the like poke and pass until I find the way to kill you with, heat ray, build, random free attack, pass, defend with like 3 cards in hand or something.
Right.
You need to be able to beat that on turn 4 or 5 with your defensive decks.
Yeah, and I think not for nothing too. Yeah, I remember that in one of these threads, Bob was crashing out about playing against Titan of Terror, where like yeah, hit by like Hunter's Ally and Double Queen of the Monsters into XYZ,
Right.
and that's all like on the zone mix up across from the Destructive Heat Ray bread and butters on the across from the Shinashigeki down the middle. Um, it's a deck with good threats all over the freaking place.
Hmm.
But honestly, my kind of extra topic was kind of right along these lines of I played some Pumat Soul and played against some of these, played against Gian, played against what the hell were you playing? Toru, yeah. Cool off meta strategy,
Yeah.
peak universes, but that guy got matched. Like it felt actually, I sold Love's deck list and kind of tweaked it a little bit, but ultimately my like that Pumat deck is very much shaped as a proactive 6-hand size character, right? my goal is to put SB machine in play and then resolve a what's the stupid
Pristine swordsmanship.
pristine sword play. Yeah.
Pristine sword play.
Oh
And Voltron up 9 mid 18, right? Just out
Mm-hmm.
of nowhere, or 9 mid 16, I guess. Plus other stuff. Plus I can just like have 3 or 4 mute machine enhances in turn, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I kind of feel like I had interesting games throughout the night, but my impulse with this deck, my impulse with in general is right to kind of slow my deck down, kind of go bigger, to inject lots of card draw. So I'm going to get to make lots of decisions, and I feel like the game is just not really in that space. I think there's a lot of decks that are kind of demanding you to be proactive. That say,
Sure.
listen, if you just try to stare at me, I'm going to exploit the fact you're not pressuring me enough and run away with the game and go bigger and outscale you. And that's very hard. Like there aren't necessarily tools to counterplay the things that do this stuff. But if you're just fighting the back, if you're presenting your own threats, forcing some respect on them, and or just taking advantage of the times where they don't, if they can sun run you and kill you on 2, but then you make them sun run you to win, and like they only sun run you 15% of the time or something, like you're actually a big favorite at that point. If they can't beat you in a normal game, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But that kind of the default state has to be having the chance to turn 2 someone if you get the good draw, and if not, you're going to like turn 3 them through resistance, or turn 4 through resistance. And I think that it's hard to get to that point without sort of having a trick, having a gimmick, I guess, almost, and to like genuinely committing your deck towards that possibility.
Yeah, Titan of Terror is going to force you into a knife fight, whether you like it or not, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And these Pool Clear Gigons, much like Mikasa did with decks that didn't have any like specific tech for her, are going to force you to be like, no, you need to kill me. I will sooner or later. I will play 10 in a turn. And
Right. Man, I really want to play that Gigan deck. Like seriously, I'm playing the the one check build that's playing like a one of gravity beam volley and like charismatic approach to tutor it out, and it's fun when it works. But man, I in this meta I don't like using charismatic approach. Like
right.
against like Titan of Terror, he goes, cool, I'm gonna get like the scariest thing that I can throw at you, or like my win con, and just play it like a real man. Or just hold on to it and review it next turn to kill you.
Dude, wait, this is such a good storyline. So you play charismatic approach, and it summons my queen out of their deck. You riz them up.
I'm good.
It's literally
I'm good. That's also probably not the card they're gonna tutor.
Why not? They're gonna kill you with it.
That doesn't. Nah, that's not what they want to kill me with.
No one's ever played Queen of the Monsters for a lethal string.
But no, I mean, I think that deck is super viable. You probably just don't want to be cute and run the one check.
yeah, that's probably ultimately not that worth. But George was in part trying to like do something silly there, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily trying to like min max the competitiveness of his deck. So, but then that's the list on Ultra, so some people are gonna try, right?
At some level, is this not like the peakest of peak universes? Right, you can have a funny thing in your deck. It's probably not optimal to play the funny thing, but like you're getting some equity in some funny spots. So like there's there.
Most cards do things. It turns
That's
out.
Fair. Yeah.
Even
just do things.
The goofy 2-check that hasn't been registered in God knows long.
When was the last time we got registered? What, Air Nick?
Oh, Sniping Spy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it tracks that like that group of players would be the ones to be like, hey, let's put Sniping Spy and Gigon, right?
Yeah, they're similar enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got any more cool stuff to throw at us about the meta there, Kevin?
I mean, that was the big thought. It's kind of this big, kind of mealy mouth. Like, it sure is hard to not be able to kill the shit out of your opponent, and your opponent's gonna kill the shit out of you. And so, I guess probably it's knife fight o'clock.
Yeah.
This is not necessarily my favorite kind of metagame, but I think as long as we're on the same page about what it is, that's cool.
And it has its own shape and its own challenges, right? It's really gonna. There are going to be matches that feel relatively non-competitive, or games rather, and then there are going to be games where like the player that makes like the net better collection of tough judgment calls like ends up
Yeah.
stealing it at 2 health or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, honestly, since like MHA era, I feel like a lot of my matches, a like very large fraction, go to 3 games, and 2 of the games are basically not competitive, right? And then
Mhm.
it's the third game where neither player is running really hot, and you're both having middle of the road stuff. You're both winning and losing some Yomi, and it's really good.
Okay.
What do you play at your LC this weekend? I would say you should play Godzilla Titan of Terror with like the most sauceless deck list you can find. Like absolutely no sauce, just like absolute stock Titan of Terror with no creativity or invention, just like the most vanilla deck you can find. Just in missionary position all the way through. Yeah,
Completely gormless deck.
absolutely, max, like minimally gormful.
And that way, when you win, someone can complain about it.
Yeah, give us like I actually, yeah, like if you can't, like the gormless Titan of Terror would be perfect. Like that'd be good content. But if you can't give us gormless Titan of Terror, give us something that will be good content we can talk about on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm assuming, I actually don't know, but I'm assuming that username is actually Paul Butler. That
I think so,
Call the
yeah.
Paul, yeah, that's him.
Yeah, okay. Different usernames in different places, kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You should play a deck that, I don't know if Titan of Terror qualifies. Should play a deck that does not run a single card that was in your Bertolt. I just remember seeing him like on stream playing against Tam, and it was just like, oh, this is just Bertolt in a bear suit. I'm just like, man.
Lethal
Yeah.
Flash Titan of Terror sounds good. I like that. I mean, I hate that.
I think that goes
Maybe doesn't make a lot
that
of
goes
sense.
nowhere. That doesn't, yeah.
Well, listen, if we like 4x attack Titan's Haymaker and put a little extra damage on it that way, it deals 4 damage to him. That's where it goes. All right.
We can find a spicier 2-check to put in that deck, probably.
Can you find a spicier cantrip though?
Uh,
We're gonna draw cards.
yeah, shoulder toss with a power token.
Yep.
You commit Godzilla vs. Biolante, and they don't want to take 7.
Listen. That sounds completely sauceless. That's like the most boring vanilla. Like once he did throw, come on, middle. Jesus.
Right, play the 1-speed low throw.
Yeah.
That's a spirit.
If you really want to be like Gormless, just play Hedorah. That's the most Gormless deck in this format.
Oh wow, yeah. Is that deck worse than Grog though?
It is. So it's definitely better than Grog competitively, I think.
Okay.
Is
yeah,
it worse
more-
than Grog
more
in
effective
terms
than
of like
Grog.
cringe level? It's not reducing damage as much, so probably not. It like ideally kind of actually wants to block something, which is cool.
Yeah, I mean, I sure do. Like Hanya's base. Grog does not have a card near the base as Hanya. This is Hanya on its base.
Yeah, Hedorah is an exercise in like just praying that they have average draws. They draw 2 attacks every turn. You have like maybe 4 turns to kill him. And that we can work with. If he's playing like 3 attacks a turn, you're dead on 3.
And it's just a shame to me that my 2 favorite Godzilla villains are terrible in the term of Destroya and really boring in the term of Hedorah.
We can play like a collection of funny cards that don't show up in other decks, so that part of Hedorah is kind of neat.
Yeah, that's fair.
Dude, and like he's a villain. Like he's not supposed to be cool. This is like
Yeah,
like, this is like
definitely feels like I don't know what he looks like. He's some kind of sludge monster. That kind of what it feels like playing against this thing. It's like, yeah, a big pile of ooze, whatever. I lost. Yeah, I guess so. I got oozed.
Man, that just makes me want to like just play that competitively and BM on people and have little stickers that say "I got oozed" and give them to the people I beat.
dude, you're just feel like the Deepwater Horizon oil spill and just like kill a bunch of birds, right? Like, God, it's
All right.
How long ago was that? Jesus Christ! What's the last environmental catastrophe you had that involved Dupe?
That's
we need to have a more recent GUI. Like somebody go mess
Yeah.
something up somewhere so that we can stop harkening back to over a decade ago.
I think that was a sentence I was not expecting us to have on this podcast tonight.
Listen, if you can't have brand new sentence, like why even?
That's fair.
Oh, let's go. Someone else did debutter a joke. Yes.
Oh, that's sick.
Oh man. I guess another topic. Shout out to the future first ballot Hall of Famer, Batra Arrives. I was not familiar
Yes.
with your game.
I
What a fucking card!
I
Holy
was
shit.
yeah, and I imagine you probably got it in play at some other point during our locals on Monday, but I was definitely I said this in Discord. There was a sequence where like you're examining your discard pile, considering a list of options for what you were going to grab with your team hero, and like one of those options was Batra. I was like, yeah, but I don't know. Maybe I'll grab this. Maybe I'll grab that. Maybe I'll grab this. And I'm just like, trying not to be visibly astonished that you were considering anything besides Batra Arrives
Yeah, listen.
in my deck that really
listen.
badly relied on its foundation abilities. That card is a
Yeah,
problem for that pile.
yeah.
That's a card that I have not actually sleeved up yet because I just haven't played a character with
Played
symbol.
those symbols yet. That's that is
I want to.
You know, if Exhibit A and like don't expect your foundations to do stuff is destructive defeat rate, Exhibit A2 is Batra Arrives. They're in 6 entirely different symbols, of which a pretty good collection of those are ones that are going to see some play too.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, Team Hero 15 also as good as advertised.
Yes.
What a card.
Yeah. Insanely good card. I was playing it in Gigan and was building Science Bros with it. And it felt disgusting.
But I've been on that train since day 0. So
Yeah,
I
I think. I wonder if there's like any naysayers of that card. I feel like there were none. I feel like everyone just kind of knew immediately, like this is gonna be fucked up.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
like the naysayers, so to speak, are the people who like 1x it, right? Like, oh, it's unique. I can't play more than one. And also, to be fair to the Team Hero 15, like slow walkers, let's say, it's like there's some good words for this. I'm searching for, but slow walk's a good one. Prior to rotation, there were a lot more acetate.
Oh,
True.
sure. Yeah. You might just like get your foundation hit by bonus for free by there's, Kraken or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kraken and like I think Pass Through Walls is a.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
Yep.
like one of the stories in my head of the Godzilla decks succeeding at Worlds was that 4x Pass Through Wall. They correctly all played 4x Pass Through Walls, and 4x Pass Through Walls is extremely good in that game.
It's very good. Oh. Now I'm looking at various characters that can play Batra Arrives.
Pumat Soul, dude. It's cracked.
Yeah. I don't want to play Pumat.
Why not? It's really cool.
I don't care about that guy.
I mean, I can't tell you should care about him, but
I mean, the answer for me is probably just Mechagodzilla on order.
Oh man, I wanna.
That's a guy who's kind of faded. That guy had a lot of excitement early on.
I think people just kind of realize he's sort of like Nago, but not as fast.
Yeah, I mean, I think the excitement in part was like this myth of Sophia being really good, and she was never good.
Yeah, that is funny. The like posthumous, the people who weren't playing at the time. Plus, I don't know where they're getting this idea from that Sophia was like some kind of like meta monster in her time. She was the only good Sophia that's ever existed was for like 6 weeks. We had this like me and Andrew Alex were running around with this Fortress Frame Sophia before they banned Fortress Frame.
Yeah, man. So yeah, would anyone play the Bedrock format with me, which is the format before Retro, where we get to play all the Fantasy Flight cards?
Like
I have
a lot of those cards. I might. I don't have a place of. I don't have a place of.
That is pretty good. It's like prehistoric, but not like so prehistoric that we're playing higher caliber.
Yeah. And it's the feed stones. And
I-
and also like you do need an archaeological dig to find any of the fucking cards.
Oh yeah, I think I have a playset of one of the two like good nightmare cards from back then.
Is it all life is break? Is that correct?
No, I mean like out of the ultra rares. Like I either
Okay.
have a playset of Nightbreaker or a playset of Midnight Launcher, and I don't remember which. So I have a playset of one and then one of the other.
And that's what used to attacks have come a long way. Put it
Yeah,
that way.
that's true. That's true.
There's probably some kind of like team versus team content idea where like they do like a draft before they do their deck building and stuff, and you're drafting what sets are going to be in our card pool.
Oh, that'd be neat.
That sounds awesome.
That sounds like
each team
it's gonna
selecting
use
like N sets, 3, 4, 5,
Right.
or whatever sets to go into the card pool,
yeah,
and then you have to go figure out how to
build
build
a deck with
3
it.
decks each and fight.
God,
Yes,
that's
this
so
is-
cool.
This is build your own spotlight draft.
Yes.
That's gas.
It would have to be like a TTS format, but yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I have a lot of those old cards. I don't have all of them.
Yeah, and I guess if someone wants to be toxic and throw like Dark Path in there, you let them.
Yeah,
Like,
No, get out of
It's
here.
like-
Bedrock only. Yeah, probably.
I'll
Because
choose
like you
dominate.
see this box up here in the hold on there, yeah, this box right here in my closet, that is filled with commons and uncommons from the beginning of the game all the way up to when I stopped playing, which was around the Jasco King of Fighters era. And then I have like 2 or 3 binders just chilling like in the bottom of this messy closet that have a bunch of rares and ultra rares from old sets. So I could do something similar to that in paper, but that's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Just use them as your power tokens, just to like mental damage your opponent by having them read ancient cards.
I mean, that's fair.
Raylan, thanks for subscribing. I hope that's how I
Ooh,
say that.
thank
name.
you. I think it is. I'm trying to remember the some of the names of the old Penny Arcade cards because I was like, man, some of these would be really cool for power tokens.
The Flesh Sweeper.
I guess Superhero Blood Transfusion is
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
that's a good one for power tokens.
God, I was shocked by how I can't even say that it was like competitive, but like the Gabe deck was scrappier than I expected into the overwhelmingly better character Tycho.
Yeah. Gabe has some cool cards, but Tycho as a character is just strictly better.
Yeah, and like both the decks were so dog shit. You know, it was like Gabe had like you commit, your opponent loses 1 health, which in a power level of that caliber of that set was a 1-card win condition.
Yeah. Also, I don't know why, but like when I played back then, I had like this weird obsession with trying to kill someone with the Dixie Twist. That card sucks. That card is terrible. It has
Isn't it
powerful
like-
one. It has
Oh,
like
it's a
powerful.
powerful one.
It has powerful 1 and then effectively powerful or EX 1 because it has enhanced discard X momentum. The stack is plus X speed. And it's a 0 mid 5.
Dude, there's so many of those old cards that are like, it's like assume you have 6 momentum.
Yeah. I mean, momentum was okay, not in these 2 decks specifically, but back then momentum was candy. There's so many ways to get momentum.
Yeah. Like Mitch's character would not have been out of place with that
Right.
momentum
Absolutely.
generation. But
Because like I played for a long time, I played like a Vega, like the hand size Vega that just taps for 2 momentum.
yeah.
And I was playing that with a silly material advantage deck just to play random cards out of my momentum and see what happens.
We're getting to Mega Boomer hours for sure.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Material Advantage was my introduction to the game. That was when I started, everyone else at my locals was playing Material Advantage decks.
That's such a cool card, though. I want something like it. I mean,
yeah,
we have characters in Retro that do it now, but I want a foundation that does it.
I should
For everyone who's here and in here in chat and doesn't know what Material Advantage is, it's a 3 difficulty foundation. It says form commit, choose 1 random card in your momentum and reveal it. If the revealed card is an attack or action card you can normally play it, no control check necessary.
Yeah, so it's Super Surveyor, but random.
Yeah.
The I probably won't remember to, but I should like complain every week in the month of April that they're doing nothing for the 20th anniversary so far that we know of. I was just thinking, what would be cool as like an anniversary shtick if IPs are IPs, right? But
Right.
if they could convince Penny Arcade to let them do just like a Universes Beyond type of thing with just like a couple playmats and some reskin promos for the 20th anniversary, I think that'd be kind of cool.
Honestly, so I think the issue with that is that the artwork was also used for a different card game.
Oh yeah, I'm not commenting on the actual feasibility of this
Yeah,
at all.
yeah.
Right?
Now I think that they're chill enough that I feel like if we reached out, we could probably do something with like new art or like remade art or something
Oh yeah,
like
we wouldn't
that.
be reprinting any original cards or
Right.
anything like that. It just
Well,
be
that's what
like
I
what they
mean,
do
right?
with the Borderlands or the
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Arcade, right?
yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
I do that.
Hell, you could literally just have a Mothra that's skinned as Tycho if they would like us
Oh,
do that because
that'd be
they're
sick,
such
actually.
similar
Yeah.
characters. Yeah.
No, that's really good.
But yeah, we'll have to wait and see if they have anything. I fingers crossed that there's something really cool that they have going on at Worlds, um, for the 20th. But we will have to wait and see.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
I guess that's the options are like do something in the month of April, which was like the actual booster set release month and like formal kickoff of the game,
right?
or like do something at Worlds and be like, yeah, I don't know, this is Worlds of the 20th year, so that's just why we're gonna do it now, kind of thing.
Hmm.
But it'd be
Well, the Worlds one also gives them more time to
to come up with
to
something. Yeah.
yeah to come up with something or to be like, oh man, there's some cool ideas. Maybe we should take those. Last second things go. Levi, are you in here?
Reprint. No.
Levi's not in here, as far as I know. Well, this is a pretty short stream, but if anyone has anything else we can talk about, I'm welcome to. But
Yeah, I mean, field questions from chat, but we make it LC this past weekend. No, I think we're well. Kevin, are you going to
I'm going to Trading Post. Yeah.
the Trading Post one? All right, so
I still haven't actually cleared it with work, but I'm gonna leave it to you.
yeah, I'm all set for LCs. I'm gonna show up to Chicago and like probably end up playing some meme instead of a real deck because I don't know. I feel like if I cared about winning that event, I'd probably run like a Nago or King of the Monsters or something in that space. That's like not Titan of Terror, but still like a relatively proven deck that can fight people pretty good.
Him, join me on the Puma train. It's more fun than I expected.
I'm sure he'd be neat and fun, but
how do I time someone out? Dan,
Will,
I'm
tell
not
me about your top
talking
8
about it.
match.
I'm not talking about it. I
I
don't like it.
know.
I went third,
Base.
and in my deck that doesn't run
Won very
twos,
easily.
and then lost, and then my opponent had little kid luck and drew all 3 out of 4 of his DHRs, check 5s, and then played a crushing on game 2 and killed me. So it was not fun. It was some of the most non games I have ever had. Which it's whatever, it happens, right? Like
yeah, like I was gonna like I take solace when there was nothing I could have done, right?
Right.
Like sometimes you're just supposed to lose, and you buck up, you say, well, what was my day?
Yeah.
That's why we play more tournaments. That's why we do whatever. What sucks is when like you very obviously should have done better, and then you threw.
Raylan, no, it was by Dan in the chat, Daniel AKA. He's not a child, but he has little kid luck, and that's why I like to call that type of luck.
Yeah, I'm so bad at Twitch names. That's Dan Tickle?
Yes, that is Dan Tickle.
I never knew. I always think it's funny when you just call him like my local, and we're like,
yeah,
we're from in Ratchet. We know who Daniel Tickle is, at least in the Northeast, right? Because he's come to some events up here and that sort of thing. But yeah, on the topic of LCs, there were a few this past weekend. Most places seem to avoid it because of Easter. I think we had 3 Titan of Terror wins. We had a Joker win in kind of a wacky LC up in Quebec, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then Luke Butler won an LC with Reiner 3, making use of Power Token being a card type that he can add to his arsenal and make it a little bit easier to meet that condition. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the look of that deck a lot more than I expected to, honestly.
It's a cool deck.
I mean, I'm trying to decide what number percent, but a significant percent is just Bloodsucking Universe, Thundersphere Barrage, my beloved.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So there's 25 LCs and metaverses. I know there's been like a couple that didn't fire, but there's got to be like 10, 12 more this weekend. We're gonna
Yeah,
see
I've heard there's a lot, and
Yeah.
also there's the two huge ones in Trading Post
in
and
Jacksonville,
the
right?
Jacksonville,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how many people are. We'll see how many people are like register the City Rampage decks. We're trying to win this LC versus register the post Rampage decks because we're trying to practice for Chicago.
I was half tempted to give King of the Monsters a final run, like for Rampage, easy King of the Monsters in Fairfax, but I'm like, I don't feel like putting that deck together. I'm lazy. I'll
I
just play Tater
remember
Tot.
I remember being disappointed that the City Rampage is getting nerfed because I had a pet deck of 4 checks Godzilla, and I'm pretty sure that deck would really not like having having to spend momentum on its shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe that's a play.
You have you have to leave for that on Friday, I assume, right?
Yeah,
All right, you have 48 hours to figure it out.
yeah.
Oh man.
Not even that.
All right.
I haven't booked anything for Shadow either. God,
Oh yeah.
heinous.
If you feel like walking 15 minutes to the venue, the Motel 6 is a lot cheaper. That is something that I've discovered.
Yeah, we've already got our hotel. It is definitely expensive. It's not that bad because I think we're splitting it 3 ways, but I can absolutely understand someone not wanting to stay there because of the price.
Yeah, I like staying at the venue. I just got around. Well, I got hung up on the fact that the group deal didn't include Thursday night. Also, if
Yeah.
anyone from UVS
Hmm.
Games is listening, can you make the group deals include Thursday nights? You're gonna put events on Friday. The group
Right.
deal should include Thursday nights.
100%. I agree.
So like I just didn't want to like go through the hassle of trying to figure out how to book that to like get the group rate on the days that it was available, and then a single day
Yeah,
on
juggle it
Thursday
around.
somewhere,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
So I
I've
kind of
heard
like
that-
procrastinated and then wound up at a Motel 6.
Yeah, I've heard that some of the hotels, like if you just call them after the fact and talk to them, they're able to acquiesce, but like it's not intuitive and it's not a thing that's included in the initial
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
reservation.
like broadly, the customer service departments want to help you,
Right.
and like they have enough margins to have a customer service department that can help you.
Mhm.
They're in hospitality ultimately, but yeah, it is a big, both a big pain point and a big like blob of uncertainty. That's just I find those very motivating too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and that
So we can
probably
call it a night.
wrap it up here. Looking forward to seeing what happens. I assume some of them will be streamed. I'll probably get to check some of those out while they're going on. But to figure out what I'm bringing, if I'm
I fully expect TTP to be streamed.
yeah, certainly.
If not, also Jacksonville.
Yeah, there'll probably be a lot of good content to follow while I'm mucking around in new Genshin areas.
All right. Well, let's start our sign offs. Kevin, where can people find you?
Yeah, so I'm a builduvs.com. I have a card search and deck building and stuff site. It's got some reasonable tools to help if you hate the interface of UGN, you can build your decks on here, or on another thing like TTS or UVS Ultra, upload them particularly to my site, and then shove them over into UGN with like 3 clicks just to get it set up, and then like 1 click to once you actually the deck list loaded and everything set up. So that's I built it because I don't like UGN either, and I wanted to make it easier. So there's that, and I also have a Substack where I've been posting. I guess this week has been like rules rants, but posting various topics in UVS space of articles and whatever.
Tim?
Yeah, so youtube.com/Satonis, CETONIS. I should have a new video going up on that within, the next 3 to 5 days or so. I just kind of want to go over it's, rotation was like a month ago now, but whatever. A bunch of cards that, because of some of the stuff that rotated out that are still legal now that haven't really seen haven't had a whole lot of legs that we could start sneaking into decks and finding some value in for one reason or another. So, well, another one of those slideshow things. I just want to put in one more slide and figure that out, and then press record.
That's fair. And as always, you can check out the VOD of this if you came in late, or just missed the entire thing at youtube.com/4checkscast. It'll be up on Monday at noon. I remembered to edit the most recent episode this time instead of just putting it up all raw. So it'll be up regardless. It's just whether or not I decide to cut out the beginning or not. But that's where to find us. If you want to catch up on anything, there's a convenient little playlist, or you can just watch us here on Twitch because the VOD stays alive for like a month or so.
Yep, and we will be on Wednesday nights for the foreseeable future. I don't think anything's coming up that's going to change that, and in theory, we'll have Justin for like 80% of the time instead of 40% of the time. So
yeah. All right,
Yeah, so thanks for joining us, and it's been fun.
Yeah, we can. How do we raid Chris Smith? He's doing something.
I think he already went offline because he's offline on mine.
Oh, okay.
He was streaming his
behind.
locals.
Okay.
If you want to send people for Pokemon champions, you can send them to PokeAim.
You know how to spell that.
POKEAIM.
Exclamation point raid. POKAIM.
POKEAIM.
Okay, cool.
Poke
Right,
and aim.
I attempted to put the thing in chat. I don't know if it's gonna work or not.
I think it isn't not slash.
Is it slash? Okay, I'm doing like Discord bot language. Ah.
But two of the people I follow are doing champions, and he has less viewers than the other one, so maybe we'll do him.
Here we go.
All right. Anyway, have a good night, everyone.
All right, bye.
Yeah, good night, team.
Bye.
Raid in 3. Click raid now, then we go over see Pokemon, and then I open up OBS and I click